All right, that's right. I'm wearing the Bad Batch shirt. I know we're talking about
Because
Star
we're
Trek
doing the
movie.
Bad Batch. Oh wait, oh wait, what else? What?
Hey, I just enjoy this a lot. Okay, the Bad
Okay.
Batch.
Well, you're supposed to enjoy Star Trek, not Bad
Oh, I
Batch. We can do
so
Bad
I
Batch
did
later.
enjoy this one too. So I'm assuming this
Are you
is
sure?
the.
I can't tell you because you don't have a Star Trek shirt on.
I don't have another Star Trek shirt. I thought about buying
Trying to
one,
make
but
a
like
statement. You're trying to make a statement.
no, I couldn't find another Star Trek
Why didn't
shirt
you
I
wear
like.
your Federation uniform?
Oh, I thought about that too because I wore that one time already, and I thought about wearing that red
Yeah,
shirt
well,
that you're wearing
I mean,
now.
I've been at your house. I know you got it just laying in the corner.
I didn't want to display it like the Big Bang Theory. You're like, it's not a costume; it's the flight
Oh,
suit.
it's not funny. It is uniform.
It is a uniform, so I didn't want to wear it again. I thought
Okay.
about getting something. I was like, I didn't want to have to buy too much T-shirts. I want to get something cool next time. And I believe this Star Trek movie, this is the last one of the original series film. Am I correct?
Yes, this is.
Oh, so because at the hint, I feel like at the end of this movie, right? Like the Central is calling us to decommission us,
Yeah.
and that's when Spock make that joke. Well, I think it's his attempt of making a joke. Like this is the part where we would say, "Go to hell."
If I was human, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
that's
what I
the
would
other
say.
thing. I guess I can point that out now. I wrote this thing down when Kirk told Spock, right? Let me tell you something, Spock. Everyone's human. And Spock said,
Yeah.
I found it insulting.
Yes.
Dude. So I want to go to your theory of the even numbers are pretty good, right? Like
Well,
your.
I also want to point this out before
Okay,
we
go
just
ahead.
get away, since we're already there.
Yep.
Because you notice at the end of the movie, we see all that it all ends because we're already talking about this is the last one.
Yep.
You notice they sign their names,
Yes, I did.
which I pointed this out to you when we saw Endgame.
Yes. I did
They all
notice
sign
that.
their
They all
names.
signed
So I
their
guess
names.
it seems like a thing that you do when you make a movie and that's the last of a certain group of people.
Like a last certain group, and like that's a last of the series where they're all together,
Yes,
right?
this will be the last of the series where they're all together.
Because like
Then the same thing goes for this. This is the last of the series. Actually, the original three members of this crew, actually show up in the next movie.
okay, good. Oh, okay. So don't tell me yet. I want to be surprised.
Okay.
Cause so
I shouldn't tell you because it would have been a big surprise.
okay. So you know what's a big surprise when I start watching this movie? Captain Sulu.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. That was a big surprise for me too.
Huge surprise for me because I was like, of all the characters they picked, right? I guess at that time in the '90s, when was this movie made? In
Yeah.
1991. I guess there wasn't a lot of Asian leads, right? They're not gonna put an Asian guy in the Star Trek, but
Yeah.
then you had to remember this is like when all the conflicts way into the future is like resolved, right? They don't look at things like that, so it
Yeah.
was a huge deal for
I
me.
mean, come on, you got a Russian on this ship.
Yes,
You're in the '60s.
yes.
You had a black woman on the ship
Oh, she was wearing
during the '60s.
she was wearing a skirt, right? Because I was looking at that.
She always wears a skirt. That was her thing, and she ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
Even though like the whole crew is older, I wish a lot of them were in their 30s while they were doing this, but
yeah,
like.
it would have been nice. But the problem is, I mean, this is that they got older. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They didn't then go. Oh well, we're gonna pretend you're somebody else or reboot it. They let them run their course.
Yeah, they went. Yeah, that was really good. I mean, like,
Which I think it's a big service to Star Trek.
yes, I feel that way too. And like now that I'm watching this, right, I'm already into the sixth movie. I'm already halfway there.
And you've never even watched any of the originals yet.
I had never watched the originals. I enjoyed this
Not
a
yet.
lot.
You
Like
should.
I feel like if I even watch the original, right, it's kind of like so how some people remake the stuff like this is how
Yeah.
it began. I feel like I would be watching that.
Here's a neat thing I want to point out too. This during this show, there's actually Star Trek Voyager. They don't even show the crew member. He's not even on the ship, but there's Tuvok. He's a Vulcan. He's on Voyager.
Yeah.
He actually serves on the Exeter. At the Excelsius during the
No way.
during this deal, and they actually make an episode where they kind of travel back through his memories and stuff through time on this ship
And they see him.
with all the. Oh yeah, they see it. You see everything you see in this movie.
So the other surprise I was really taken by, I saw Christian Slater.
Yes, I know. Well, his mom is the did the casting for this,
Oh, okay.
and he's a huge Star Trek fan. So he's like, "Hey, mom, can I get on there?" And she's like, "Yeah,
Really?
we got a spot. Get on there."
Oh, I mean, like he had one scene and it was with Captain
Yeah, he has one
Sulu.
scene. Of course, he gets it, because I like it. Because he was like, "You hard of hearing,
Yeah,
Mister?"
they're like, no, sir. Yeah. I really enjoyed that because at the first when I saw Captain Sulu, I was like, so he's no longer part of the Enterprise. I was like a little saddened
Yes.
by that because he's not part of that crew.
Yeah,
But
but look at his ship.
yes, he is ship, right? Excelsior, right? And it also it helped them whatever this ordeal is.
Yeah. And I mean, it gives you another story because everybody wants to know what happens to the crew. Why come none of the crew ever gets their own ships? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's supposed to move up. Because I mean, if you think about it, most of them did because it used to be Commander Scott's Captain Scotty. Most of their ranks have changed, you know.
You know,
The thing is, Sulu was actually supposed to get his own ship in several movies ago. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3.
Oh,
they even
really?
They even have him talk about him getting that ship. But I think they do show him admiring the ship, the Excelsior.
Yes, okay.
During the 3rd movie. But they cut that dialogue out. I think it was in the 2nd movie they cut that dialogue out.
Oh, they did? Out. You know, I really enjoyed this whole movie? The suspense. Because, like, the whole time you're like, who is behind this, right? I was so hooked. Like, I just want to know, like, who is behind this? Why is my movie 152 minutes? Which one I want to point out, by the way, I watched the director's cut version. And when I compared to the regular one, right? The regular running time is 1 hour 49. And the director's cut is 1 hour 52.
Okay. I'm going to ask you, because I know there's 2 cuts to this movie.
Okay.
Because when I watched this one, I watched the theatrical release. So I'm missing stuff that I saw in another one, and I don't know why I saw it. But the assassin, did they talk about? Does it show a Federation group come into the president's office and want to do a rescue mission?
No.
So none of yours had that.
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay, there's a scene where they come in with the Federation commanders, captains and stuff. They want to do attack on the Klingon Empire and rescue Captain Kirk.
Oh no, they didn't do that at all.
So how about at the end when the assassin? You know, there's an assassin that tries to shoot the president.
Yes.
Of the Federation and tries to shoot Valorous. And he gets shot. He falls to the ground. Did they rip his mask off and see that he's actually not a Klingon?
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
So you left that one.
Yep, I have that one.
Who's the actor? Who is the actor?
Who is the actor of the assassin?
Yeah. Isn't it the guy that plays Odo from Deep Space Nine?
I've never seen Deep Space Nine, so I don't know.
Oh. I think it is, and I think I remember this. And they cut out all out, so you don't even see he's not even a Klingon.
Oh yeah, because I was surprised that he wasn't Klingon.
The original scene, though, in the movie I watch, you never know. It doesn't show them pull anything off of him.
Oh yeah, they pull it off of him.
He dies as a Klingon in this movie.
Okay, so what happens is, you know how that scene ended? So when they shot that guy, right? Because he didn't have that certain color blood, the purple blood.
Yeah.
When they said like his blood is red.
Yeah, I know. And I'm pretty sure it's Odo from Deep Space Nine.
Oh, okay.
But he's not even in my cut, and it doesn't even list him in the credits.
Oh, interesting.
But
so
I'm pretty
shot
sure
that.
But I'm pretty sure the very first version I ever saw, because I didn't see this in the theater, has him in it all the way through, and he's in the credits.
So that must be the director's cut. That part.
Yeah, but there should have been a scene where they're talking about invading.
Yes.
The Klingon Empire to save Captain Kirk. It's not in my movie either.
But
you see the boards. But you can see the boards of it.
Yes. Oh, and this is the first time
Christopher Pike. Christopher Pike is not even in this.
Not Christopher Pike. Who was the actor that played the other Klingon? The one that talked to Kirk a lot to try to get him riled up.
Oh, okay. Well, we would also point out he's in Star Trek V too.
Oh, he was
the counselor. He played he was the human, the Terran ambassador.
Oh, so it's the same actor, different role. I love that.
Same actor, but of course he's Klingon in this movie.
Yes. You know, I really like on this one that they finally show Romulan ale, Romulan whatever, right?
Oh, the drink.
The drink, yes.
Well, you actually see Romulan ale introduced in Star Trek 2.
Oh, really?
Is it 2 or is it 3? Yeah, it's Star Trek 2 because when it's supposed to be Captain Kirk's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And McCoy shows up
McCoy shows
and
up
gives
with
him some of that.
Some of that drink, yes.
Yes. Romulan ale. And it's been talked about, and all Star Trek fans know what Romulan is.
Yeah, I figured that because I saw that on Big Bang Theory, but I'm like, nah,
okay.
Like it was. I guess it was the longest scene with McCoy and Kirk was just like a birthday thing.
Yeah,
so I didn't pay,
but also
because they made a point of mentioning it, like, hey, isn't it outlaw in whatever? Like, good thing we're out of the boundaries. That's why.
Yeah.
I like that.
So what'd you think of this movie?
Oh, because the suspense got me hooked.
So I mean, what do you rank this now? Did you like this better than Star Trek 4? Or? It was a big surprise. You didn't see this coming, did you?
I did not. I do like this better than Star Trek 4.
I know. I mean, I think
I
if you're not
do.
a Star Trek fan, you'll like Star Trek 4 the best. But if you're into what's going on in the Star Trek universe,
No,
6
I
is
like
up
this
there
one
with 2.
because
Well,
4
I'm
is,
pointing out this is the same director as 2.
yeah, it's the same director as 2. So what happens is like, okay, so 4, right? I did like the time travel thing. I did like saving the whales part, but this one got me like the whole time. As soon as the father, the guy who's actually trying to make peace, the
Yeah,
Klingon, right? He's trying to
the
make peace
Klingon
with the Federation. People
Council.
are
Yeah.
excited, right? And Kirk is like, dude, I didn't even like Klingons, okay? They killed my son, and it's like, how is he gonna go through this? And then when the spaceship, like the not the spaceship, whatever the Romulans were flying, when they got
Oh,
shot, right?
the Klingons.
Yeah, the Klingons, they got
Battle
shot, right?
cruiser.
And they're like,
Yeah, the battle cruiser.
the computer is saying that we shot this, but like all the torpedoes are here. What the hell is going on? I'm thinking, why is there a glitch in the system? Who is doing this, right? And just since then, like, oh man, I'm only an hour into this movie. I have 52 more minutes. This is BS. I want to know now.
So
No,
you never thought it was another ship.
I didn't think it was another ship, not at first, but it was.
Okay.
It wasn't until they figured it out. You told me about this before when I asked that question. If they
Yeah.
were cloaked, right? Why don't they shoot people when they're invisible? And this is what you're holding out for me on. Like, I'm so glad you did that because then they figure out like, well, how did they do this? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't know the math. I'm not familiar with this science of Star Trek, but I want to know too.
Yeah, no, I never knew it until I watched it. You know, it dawned on me when I first saw it. It was this cloaked ship underneath it.
Right.
It kind of thinks something's wrong.
This is a huge heist movie from the bad guys side.
Yeah. Well, it's a who did it. Yeah.
Oh, it's a big whodunit.
Thriller. Yeah.
Because
it's a
like
thriller movie.
that means they were able to upload to the Enterprise like, hey, we're gonna shoot from our side, right? But it's gonna show that it came from their ship.
Well, you got to remember there's 3 people on the Enterprise who are doing stuff too. It turns out one of them was a Vulcan.
Yes. So yeah, man, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, because Vulcans aren't supposed to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, so yeah, exactly, right? Because it's logical because I guess in a way she's thinking like this is for the greater good. It cannot happen.
She thought she was doing the right thing, but
Yep.
it wasn't.
So the funniest thing to me when I see Spock does that thing on her face, and I'm thinking like,
The Vulcan mind meld.
yeah, like you couldn't do that at first. You have to search everything when Spock could be like, okay, next in line, next in line.
Well, that would take forever, but there's over 400 crew members.
Yeah, but then they were searching all the quarters and stuff, for
I doubt he even thought she was behind it.
Yeah, you know what? It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me how bad the special effects were. The anti-gravity thing, and they were shooting the Klingons, and then there were purple or pinkish blood.
Yeah.
The heist part got me so much. I didn't care for how bad the special effects were. The scenes of this movie were shot
I didn't think the
too.
special effects were bad at all. What are you talking about?
I think it just bothers me the anti-gravity thing. Like, oh, they turned off our gravity, They were floating kind of like, you're like, they were working with the budget they had at the time with the technology.
Yeah.
But, like, no. Yeah.
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's just, I guess the blood is like, I could tell it's really fake, I guess.
Yeah, the blood was a little weird, but they wanted it to look non-human.
Yeah, and I did like
even though later on you see Klingon blood, it always looks red. I don't know why they even bothered with it.
I like that Kirk kept his cool when, it looks like they shot the Klingon ship, right? And then the Klingons attack back because it's so like, hey, why are they shooting at us? So they attack back to the Enterprise, and they keep attacking the Enterprise, right? And then they ask Captain what they want to do, like, tell them we surrender.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah.
Because he knew he was so close to like, hey, we came here to do the peace treaty thing. We can't just start a war right now. It would make the Klingons think like, well, you attacked us. Why would you surrender? It was like, yeah.
And then he saves him.
Yeah, and then he saves them. Like McCoy trying to save him. Yep.
He tries to save him.
Yeah, because he doesn't know the anatomy. Like it makes sense, right? He's like, I don't know what I'm doing here. You asked to get on board though.
But they did change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he should have known a little bit more about Klingons because they've been around Klingons so long. The Federation. But it's also like this other scene. There's another scene that doesn't make any sense to me. It's when they fly into Klingon space.
Yeah.
And Uhura is looking through all these books that speak Klingon.
Yeah, the translation.
She has always known Klingon and all the others.
She
always all of a
should,
sudden
right?
she does
Yeah.
know Klingon,
Because
and all of a sudden she
so
doesn't know Klingon.
that didn't make sense to me either when they were
They
looking
make
for
it either,
translations.
but they needed I guess they just wanted that scene. The director did a lot of things he didn't have to, like the kitchen. You see a kitchen inside the Enterprise.
Yes.
It bothers a lot of people because why do you need a kitchen?
Because they
They
have
got
to eat.
stuff. No, they have replicators. They don't need food anymore.
Oh.
They make it. They could have produced it in the machine all the time. Maybe they just like that home cooked meal or
Well,
whatever.
sometimes you want to have a choice, right? You
But
don't
you
want to eat
can't
from a
fly
bag.
through space with all that crap because they fly. I mean, they're so far away.
Oh. You know, the other science I didn't understand. I didn't understand what Spock and McCoy were doing with that torpedo.
Oh, well, basically, they upgraded the sensors on there. The thing is, the bird of prey put neutrinos.
Mm-hmm.
It put a gas out, but
Yeah, it put a
high
gas
levels of neutrinos. But unless they were right up against it, they couldn't find it.
Oh.
So basically, what they did is they put all the stuff that catalogs or they did all the sensor stuff. They just added the sensors so that when they shot the torpedo out, it would hunt down the neutrinos.
Oh, okay. I got
Basically.
you now.
Well, actually, the plasma signature off of that bird of prey.
Oh,
And the thing is, of course, their ship's not cloaked because I think you can't have shields and cloak.
oh, okay. The other thing I like is there's a big hole in the Enterprise because they're cleaning.
Oh yeah, after they lose their shields, after they lose their shields,
they
so
shot a
the
big
hull
hole.
gets
Like
stuff.
at the end, like, are they still flying this thing with a big hole? Yep, because they showed it. Like, this is
Well,
a
you got to
big
think
hole.
though that it's got you mean you got all these decks inside there.
Yeah.
Because it went through where that goes through. That's almost 3 to 4 decks right there.
Wow.
And the thing is, they can seal the decks off,
Oh, okay.
or they can also sell crawl spaces, everything. They corridors and everything.
And Michael Dorn was in this movie,
Yep, Michael
but
Dorn
he
was in
didn't.
this
He was playing the lawyer, but he didn't have too big of a part, I guess.
Yeah, he has a small part, and he's probably just. They say that maybe he's an ancestor to Worf from the.
I'm
Star
sorry,
Trek
I said
movie.
Christopher Pike, but I meant Christopher Plummer.
Oh, Christopher Plummer. Yeah.
He was in this movie, yes. I meant Pike, like, no, that's Captain Pike, but yeah, I got those names confused.
Yeah, Christopher Plummer, which from The Sound of Music.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is neat because the first Star Trek movie, motion picture, was directed by Robert Wise, who directed.
Oh, The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
No, it was very enjoyable. I like when obviously when they were speaking Klingon,
Yeah.
but they sometimes they speak English. Like, so like, why don't they speak Klingon the whole time? That bothers me a
Yeah.
little bit.
Well,
you know?
they did have a scene where it's like Hunt for Red October, where they just switched to English. But
Yes.
I guess it's so they don't have to work so hard. I mean, Klingon's
Yeah.
going to be hard on the actors.
Yeah, it is like, oh man, I'm gonna yes.
But
that
most
is
of the
true.
time, they spoke Klingon.
Yeah, most of the time they speak Klingon though.
I mean, most of the writing, everything was in Klingon. They spoke Klingon. I mean, they didn't do the whole trial in Klingon because it would have just been hard.
Yeah, so they were still listening to translators, but they were
Yeah,
speaking-
because it's supposed to tell you that they're speaking in Klingon.
Oh,
They never
that's
actually, they never transferred to English.
right.
They did it for the audience.
Yeah,
but
they did
never
it for us.
did it. But inside the movie world, none of the Klingons never transferred to English
Yes.
unless they were on the Enterprise talking.
So whoever that Planet of the Apes girl was,
The Apes girl.
the clone girl, right? You know when they got trial to be on that planet for exile.
You mean the shapeshifter girl?
They're the shapeshifter.
I
forgot
mean,
her
that's
name.
David Bowie's wife.
Is that really?
Yeah.
I can't remember David Bowie's wife. Who is that?
Her name's Iman. Right?
I'm in.
Am I saying her name right? She's
Uh,
the shapeshifter.
you know, I'm looking on Wikipedia and I don't see. Oh, Iman. Yeah, you're right. As Marsha or Martisha, a
Martisha.
shape-shifting alien.
Yeah. Which is funny because remember she starts making out with Kurt.
Yes, they're making out with her. Like, I
Of
think it was
course.
history.
Of course, McCoy's like, what is it with you?
Cause like yeah, you know, David Bowie's wife. I always think she's pretty. Like, well, she's really pretty, even with that like the costume and the makeup thing. I was like, well, this lady's really
Well,
pretty.
except for what she looks like the monster.
Well, that wasn't her though, right? Like, you know,
Down. Hey, well, we don't know what she really looks like. She just
Yeah.
says that I would have thought I'd get a pleasing shape.
I like that. Like, yeah, please shit. I like
Well,
that.
she's a model too, though. She was
Oh
a
yeah,
model,
definitely.
so.
I really like that. When she
And
was
plus
Kirk.
Captain Kirk's there, so that's.
I'm like, I can't believe I kissed her. Wow, it must be a thing that you always wanted.
Oh yeah, the ego where they make the ego joke.
Yeah, ego joke is so funny. Even then, right? Like when the Klingons show up and I guess it shot her, right? I didn't even know which one is fake or real.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if
They didn't spend
I
time on
wanted
that.
they just got lucky because I think the Klingons didn't really even know either.
Yeah, they needed it. Just who cares?
Yeah, like we're gonna kill you anyway. It's
I like
all
that.
of y'all.
I like that they almost did the James Bond thing. Like, oh, you're about to die. Let me tell you about the plot of whatever. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, since you're gonna die, and of course, you know, they get back on the ship. I like it.
Yes.
Chekhov is like, you want to go
You
back?
want to go back? No. Oh man, I can't believe this is the last one. Well, for original series.
Yeah, for the original series.
Did the people know that when this came out, this was going to be the last one?
Yes, it was pretty well.
Oh,
known.
okay.
I mean, this is it.
So it must be taking them by surprise when there was another Star Trek movie. Or no, not really, because that was the Next Generation.
Well, the next one's Next Generation. It was ways. I mean, I saw that one in theater. So yeah, it was a ways off from this one.
Oh, it was a ways off. Oh,
yeah,
so
I think it was. Some time's passed. I mean, they already knew this was the end. That's the whole point of the movie.
What else did it? Oh well, I like the I guess the in-depth conversation between Spock and Kirk before they went to.
Oh, okay, yeah. When Spock decided to go ahead and just nominate the crew to go over there and help, even though he was wearing his bathrobe. But yeah, this thing is supposed to have been like the fall of the Soviet Union. It's what this movie's about. Represents.
Oh, really? Oh, is it because of the peace thing, like the Cold War?
Yeah, the peace thing. Because I mean, they basically thought, "What are we going to do now? We're not going to fight each other. We don't need each other." I mean, it was kind of far fetched because I mean, even if there was no enemies, you would still have a federation. Because the federation actually all it does is goes out and explores planets and stuff, and it's mutual protection for all that it steals. Whether there's Romulans or Klingons or not. But the Klingons, you got to think from their point of view, Federation's always in their way, and they're the bad guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's like so I was going to tell you I like this because it's kind of show them like, well, they were about to extinct, right? That's how I understood it. Like they were.
Yeah, they lost a lot of power. Yeah, because all they did was war.
Yes.
That's all they did. They were 100% war, and then they're like, well, how do we fix this now? I mean, they were advanced. They just couldn't. They wouldn't be able to muster the energy to fight the Federation and fix their
problem at the same time. Yep.
Yeah. So the way they had to do it to fix their problem, they had to be completely
with the Federation.
And that's the thing. We got to make sure that if you watch the Next Generation movies and stuff, this is a stepping stone to peace between.
Oh yes. Oh, I get that.
But it isn't. They don't go to peace right after this movie. It takes more. It still takes years, but the neutral zone and stuff slowly disappears.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they start to trust them a little more.
I like that that's the neutral zone.
Now, the neutral zone between the Romulans and the Federation doesn't ever go.
Oh.
Romulans. Yeah, the Romulan Empire eventually just kind of disappears, which is kind of weird that they have an ambassador to the Romulan Empire there.
Yes.
The Federation eventually loses touch with the Romulan Empire.
No, before we go off, right, I want to point out the president was the bad guy from RoboCop. Because, when I say his face, right, I guess with all that makeup, where he's playing the president.
Was he the bad guy in RoboCop?
Yeah, he was.
RoboCop. RoboCop, the second one, right? The third one.
No, the first one.
Was he the bad guy?
Yeah, he was a drug dealer. Yeah. He was the guy working for that old man. Like, I can't remember his name.
Because he's the one from the '70s show.
Yes, he's the one from the '70s show. I almost forgot.
Yeah, okay, we know this is the same guy. Okay, yeah.
I almost said Ashton Kutcher show, but it's actually really Topher Grace.
It's the
'70s show, yeah.
We're gonna just stick with '70s. We don't need to call. We don't need to name any losers.
And when he's in that makeup, right? You know who he reminds me of? That Kung Fu master from Kill Bill Volume 2.
Oh, okay.
Gordon Liu, and I'm like, that's a Chinese guy, but like,
this guy's an alien, okay? This guy's an alien.
Was he a Klingon?
No, he's some alien. They never named. They actually never. I don't think they've ever named his race in Star Trek. Oh,
okay. Because like,
there's so many races in Star Trek they don't even name. So.
Oh, okay. Just because, hey, you know what? We're aliens. We're peaceful. Deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Federation. Okay. There's a lot of countries at the United Nations you never heard of.
Yes.
So it's okay.
While watching this movie, right, and I'm thinking like the more I watch this movie, I thought about what you said before, and like a lot of Star Trek fans that didn't think like number 5 is canon. I kind of get that feeling in this one. Like, oh, maybe Star Trek 5 is not canon. But then I'm thinking, like, no, if I say that, I feel like Star Trek 4 could not be canon either because, like, they introduced that lady, they brought her into the future, and now I don't
Yeah.
see her again.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna see her. She's out playing around, flying through the stars, having a good time.
Yeah.
Which we would probably do if we got transported to the future. I'd be like, all right.
So I want to say, I guess on these Star Trek movies I've seen, right, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now, they really doesn't have to tie into each other. It's just the crew is always the same.
Yeah, it's another mission. I mean, it's like the original Star Trek TV shows. They didn't
Yes.
really tie into each other. I mean, they weren't ongoing stories. You watched one, you got a whole story in one show,
Yep.
1 hour. I mean, then you go watch the next one.
Huh,
You don't have
that's
to go,
so
oh, I got to tune into this one, or I had to watch, or I'm watching one and go, man, I wish I would have been here for the other 2 episodes.
yeah.
That's the thing about the original series. You can just get on there and watch. You can watch any time in any of its 3 seasons and be fine.
So I
You
thought
don't have to
about
know
it.
this or that.
So there's only 3 seasons, right? I almost got the stupid Paramount Plus app this week just because I want to like watch
It's a
it.
stupid. I almost got the
Just
stupid
to
pair.
watch it. Almost got it, man.
Oh,
Like,
there's always Next Generation now.
well,
Come on.
that's on there too. Because it's stupid
Yes, that's what I'm
Paramount.
saying. You make it seem like you're only getting one thing.
Oh no,
There's
I'm
Next
getting all Star
Generation.
Trek because the other thing would be a bonus would be the Halo series.
Yeah, the Halo series. But think about it. You get plus Enterprise. You get to watch Enterprise since you seem to love that so much.
Yes, the Enterprise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Enterprise.
I thought about
There's
change. Like I've been
Space
looking at.
Nine.
I've been thinking about getting a vanity plate, right? And I was like, hey, you know what? It's probably out there. Stupid NCC 1701.
Oh, I'm sure that it is probably in every state in the union.
Whoever got that first.
They're probably like, really? Everybody requests this one. We get thousands of requests for this.
Because
Just quit it.
It's perfect, right? It's like, oh, we get that as a phone number. That would be awesome.
Yeah, well, you could get it as a bumper sticker. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Or my other vehicle, or my other
It's
mode of
the
transportation.
My
is the
otherwise is
Enterprise.
the Enterprise. Yes, I almost want to get that too. But then if I do that, I wonder like, well, my otherwise is the Millennium Falcon. My otherwise is the DeLorean.
Yeah,
It's
Hey,
not
my
gonna
cousin-
stop.
that's my cousin told me this story once. He had a pickup. You know, he drives. I guess there's a Chevy pickup, but he had a sticker on the back window. It says, "My other vehicle's a Delta 88. Is it Delta 88 or whatever? It's in a
Why is that so familiar?
Evil Dead."
Oh yes.
He said he said that I said like at a light or something. Some guy standing out there, you know, just walking and sees him. He says, "Hey, is that?" He goes, "Your other vehicle really a Delta 88?"
Okay, so that happened to us last weekend. So for people who are listening, right? Shane actually visited my house, my city last weekend. We went to see Doctor Strange together, which we'll probably do in a later video. And I was wearing that DeLorean shirt. Remember, like it's a Back to the Future
yeah.
shirt that says
Yeah.
"I drive 88," and it was our waiter at Snuffers. He actually asked me like, do you drive a DeLorean? Like, I wish. But I don't think he knew that was a Back to the Future shirt. Think
Well,
about
I'm
it.
sure he did.
You think so?
I mean, that's
It's
the only
hard
way
to
he'll
say.
know DeLorean.
But you know what?
Does.
We did talk to him a little bit about the DeLorean. He said he went to this car show, and there was 5 of them, right? And
Yeah.
every single one was like a different version of the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah, no,
He
so
just said
knew
that.
it
I was like, that's pretty cool. I think that's
He
the
knew it
only reason why a lot of people like the DeLorean, right?
That's
Like,
the only reason people don't like DeLorean.
yeah, I guess that's
I mean,
the,
come on, because the DeLorean really isn't that great a car.
it's not. And I think about
But
like,
it is. It's the most popular car among our generation.
it's the only
that's the only
reason
reason- and
why
the
I
co-
like the Enterprise because of Star Trek.
That's the thing, and the company's still around. DeLorean's still around and all that. But
Yeah.
the thing is, the car is not really even stainless steel. It's actually fiberglass with stainless steel panels glued onto it.
So it's fiberglass. Or
It's
stainless.
actually just a fiberglass car with stainless
So it's
steel
still
panels
heavy,
glued
right?
onto it.
But it's still heavy though. It's so much metal.
I don't know. It's not going to be that heavy. And if you get in a car accident, and the doors ain't opening for you, you're done.
Oh yeah. I
Plus,
don't
you
know, I
can't
was
fit
still like
anything
a-
through the windows. Did you know that you can't fit anything through those windows?
No, because like I guess it's about
Only
this
the bottom
tall, right?
part of it. Yeah, the only bottom part of it opens up. And only plus it has a Renault engine in it, so it doesn't really go anywhere. You're lucky if you can. It only goes up. Actually, the speedometer only goes up to 85.
Really?
Yeah, 88 is they added that.
Oh.
Yeah, because you'd be lucky if you can even get that car up to 85 miles an hour.
Hey, are you familiar with that app Toro, like Turo? You ever heard
No,
of it? So
no.
I guess
Bull.
I
They're gonna
should.
call it bull.
No, so it's Toro, right? What it
Toro
is
means bull in Spanish.
oh, okay. So what happens is you get on this app and people is just basically renting out their cars so you could drive whatever they
Yeah.
drive. So I'm thinking like, oh, maybe if I want to see if there's a DeLorean out there, like so that way like, oh, let me drive this.
Yeah, I mean they're neat cars. I think they're awesome cars. It's
It's one
just,
of a kind.
but sport wise, because it's supposed to have been a sports car, it is not a sports car.
I
But I
can't.
mean, that's a lot of cars from our time that aren't really all that great. Like Kit, remember
No.
the Knight Rider
Yeah.
car? I
It
mean, it
reminds
looks
me of a
awesome,
Firebird, right?
and I would. It is a
Yeah,
Firebird.
Firebird.
But the problem is, it wasn't really that fast or anything.
It just looks
Was it?
cool.
Yeah, it's a very. I mean, it's a very ordinary car that you can go
It got
find now.
made popular by Knight Rider.
I know that's the thing. A lot of cars from our time weren't really all that great, but the movies made them look like. It's what kept them alive.
I gotta think, like, who drives a cool car from the 80s? Like a real car, right? Not like Batman or something like that. That's actually worth the time. I know we got off Star Trek, right? But, like, I can't fly in a spaceship. That would be cool. What would be a car from the 80s? Like, Ghostbusters.
Well, the DeLorean.
That's just a Cadillac. But
It's
it's
a
not.
Cadillac, but that would be a hard car to get. Though. It's
Yeah,
a
it is a
50s
hard
model
car to get.
Cadillac. That's not an 80s Cadillac.
That's why,
I mean,
he got such a good deal.
I mean, the DeLorean was an 80s model car.
Yeah.
The Trans Am for Kit was an 80s model car.
I'm gonna find a movie with a car.
Smoking
like
the
this.
Bandit came along a little bit before the 80s, but everybody likes Smoking the Bandit. That's a
Right.
70s model Trans Am.
Yes.
What
I'm gonna
else
find
is
a
cool?
movie. I don't know. I'm gonna find an 80s
There's
movie.
been a
that I
lot.
love.
I'm sure there's tons of 80s. Because remember the van for the 18?
Yes.
Everyone wants one of them.
Yes.
Well, I don't really want one, but that's cool.
But like this is what serial killers use, to lure you into.
And now you think it look like the 18s van.
It reminds me of the episode the Seinfeld when George got that van. Oh no, one of their friends got that van because they were talking about that in their childhood or whatever. But yeah, 80s. But then that's a TV show. Well, you know what? Knight Rider was a TV show.
Yeah, not really.
What would be a really cool 80s vehicle? I don't know. I'm gonna find that one out.
I don't know that there's going to be a cool 80s. Other than DeLorean, really, there's not going to be a cool 80s car.
A car.
Is there?
What
Well,
did we
unless,
watch?
I mean, Miami Vice had the Ferrari.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real Ferrari.
But
it was a
but
kit car,
the Trans Am and the DeLorean is something that you could buy. Like regular people
we
can
could go
buy.
get one. Me and you could probably go get one.
Yes. But like
DeLorean,
the Ferrari?
the DeLorean costs us. Well, the thing is, like I said, the Ferrari that you see in those movies,
Yeah.
I mean, at the TV show, Miami Vice was a kit car.
Oh, it was?
They didn't use a real Ferrari. They couldn't afford one. Now, Magnum PI, I think, had a real Ferrari.
How much is the DeLorean worth now?
I don't know.
How much did a DeLorean cost back in 1985?
20 something. Wasn't it 23,000, 26,000?
Oh, $25,000?
Yeah, but that was an 81, and that's expensive.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Huh.
I mean, just recently, they weren't worth that much until just up recently.
Just like right now? Huh, today I guess. Can you buy one right now? Can you buy?
Yeah, you could buy one back. That's going to cost you some money now.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
worth money.
They're worth money. Whoa, that's expensive.
They're worth money now. They weren't worth money maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. Man.
See, my uncle had a DeLorean.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
Oh.
think he got what he paid for it back when he had to get rid of it. Because they were hard to get parts for. Up until just now, DeLorean moved to Texas. Now you can get parts for them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they repair them, but it was hard to get parts for them.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, owning a car that you can't get parts for, is a car just sits there. The car is sitting there, it ain't worth nothing.
So I have an interesting question for you now, since I've seen all the original Star Trek movies, okay?
Okay.
Why is it that only 2, 3, and 4 are connected?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that you would put
Oh
some
no, I don't have a
insight on
story for that. No.
Because like
Well, actually, two and 3 and 4 don't connect. 3 and 4 connect. They made 2.
Oh, 3 and
They
4
made some
connect,
money,
that's
so
right.
somebody's like, "Hey, now let's find Spock." So they made 3, and then after 3 made some money, they were like, "Hey, guess what? I got a new story, and they interconnected as they went. It was never. These 3 movies were never.
There's only 2 and 3 connected.
2, 3, 4 connect
You know what? So
now, but they weren't meant to connect. Nobody said, "Hey, after we make 2, we're going to make 2." But basically, when they made 2, they're like, "This may be the last Star Trek."
wow.
And then 3 came out, and they're like, "We're doing okay, but this may be the last one." They didn't think, because the one almost killed the series.
Yeah, one.
Yeah,
The
because it
motion
cost so
picture.
much money, and they didn't make hardly any money back. That was almost the end of Star Trek right there.
Wow, I can't believe it fought on so strong to 6.
Yeah, it made it. Man,
I mean,
beyond
after
that,
the
now.
motion picture, that's why we were talking about Sheldon
Yeah.
hates it so much.
Star Trek 2, yeah.
He
Star
hates
Trek
1, but he likes 4.
likes 5.
No, he likes 4. He think
Yeah,
1 is worse than 5.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. But yeah, 4 doesn't make any sense. But, I mean, if Sheldon, the way Sheldon does stuff, you would think he would like 2 or 6.
Yeah, he likes 4 better, but Ross is like,
but
Wrath
again,
of Khan.
But again, it's a Warner Brothers TV series, so I'll figure.
Hey, they probably had to borrow a lot of elements, right? Like, it just sucks that they never have Leonard Nimoy on it. But you know what? Watching
But
this
they had
movie,
his voice. But they had his voice.
They have his voice. So watching
Remember
this movie,
when he's got those action figures?
Oh, yeah.
And it's
No.
like, come on, Sheldon, take me out of the package.
so watching this movie, right, dude? Leonard Nimoy is the character Spock. He is one of those kind of like RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man.
I don't know.
He
To me,
is that character.
The problem is, to me, everybody from this original series Star Trek is that character.
It's that character.
And no one's gonna. I mean, they can do other series, but I mean, we watched J.J. Abrams stuff, and I like their crew.
Yeah,
but none of those people are them.
Probably not.
I mean,
yet.
they act like them, but they're not them.
Yeah, I don't know. It just
Especially Simon Pegg playing Scotty. I like Simon Pegg, but he ain't Scotty.
I don't know. I guess I could see him as a younger version, but like,
yeah, way younger version.
Well, all these were way younger versions.
Yes.
You know. The other thing I want to point out is that you told me last time, was it on Star Trek 4, the chemistry between Scotty and Aurora.
Yeah.
It was only that movie you see it, and
it's only that movie you see it, and after it's kind of gone.
It's gone. It's like maybe somebody didn't like it.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows?
I'm gonna have to Google that on the internet.
Yeah, and we just may not be seen in the movie. I mean, I guess it's up to you to decide which way. What
happened there?
I mean, I know what happened. The problem is I watched the Next Generation, so I know how Scotty's timeline ends.
Oh man, see, you just gave it away.
You
just said that like 3 people like 3 crew members will be in the Next Generation or the next movie. Oh no, you said 3 people.
But I didn't say it. But I said the TV series.
Yeah, you said the TV series. Who interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't give nothing away.
Next time we're not doing Star Trek, right? But we will get back on this, cause I gotta see Picard in obviously.
Yeah, I know you're missing out on one of the biggest stories. This Next Generation TV series.
Man, and the 7 seasons of that.
Yeah, because you haven't even scored yet.
And I mean, how far down the timeline is the Next Generation between the original?
100 years.
100 years. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost 100 years between here, what we just saw, to the Next Generation start.
And that's why Spock could be in the Next Generation, because they live centuries.
Yeah, he lives hundreds of years. Yeah, all the Vulcans live long lives. Because I mean, even Spock's father, which we see in this movie too, kind of just a small farm. He lives all within the Picard side. He finally passes away.
And I actually like that. Like, both of those characters made it into J.J. Abrams' movie, Spock and his dad.
Yeah, well, that's a big important deal, because the biggest thing about Spock, the whole reason he joined Starfleet was his dad did not approve of that.
Yes. That's such a human thing to do, man. And then he keeps saying that, I'm not human. Then why are you here? That's the other thing I want to say.
People also forget that Spock is actually half human.
See,
his mother is.
I know his mother is human, but he keeps saying like, I'm not human. Like, whatever.
He doesn't like the human. He doesn't like the human.
He doesn't like the human.
He wants to be nothing but Vulcan, and it disappoints him when Vulcans don't see his position.
Yes.
Because they see him as less than them.
Yes.
Which I guess that has a lot to do with probably a lot of people with mixed cultures. But
yeah, but this movie also didn't give me the McCoy and Spock chemistry, so I missed that on this movie.
Yeah, well, that's because McCoy was on a prison planet with Kirk.
Yeah, dude, there was so much going on.
Yeah, Rua Puente. I mean, she's stuck way out there. You don't ever get stuck on that apprentice. I mean, you don't ever get stuck on that planet.
No, oh man, yes, that's the planet.
Which is funny thing is that planet actually was supposed to appear in J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie.
Oh, really? How's that?
Yeah. When the Nero and his crew comes across, they actually are supposed to have got captured by the Klingons,
Oh,
and they got sent to that planet, and then they escaped it.
actually, it kind of remind me of that from J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie because
Yeah.
that planet is cold, right? And then
Yeah.
when Spock kicked Kirk out of this Enterprise,
Oh,
he drops him in that ice planet.
yeah, he does.
I like that. Hey, actually, you know what? That part from J.J. Abrams, I love, right? Because he's like, "Are you not yet captain of the Enterprise?" It's like, "No, you actually kicked me off the ship to get me here." Like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I like when Kirk is so dumb, right? But like so smart at the same time. When he's like, how do I compromise you? And then Spock has to tell him like, I just watched my planet blew up. I'm pretty compromised. It's like.
Yeah. Well, he didn't know him, but he
didn't know him.
He doesn't know him.
He doesn't
they
know
don't
him
know
that
each
well.
other.
Yeah.
The way they say it, they've always known each other.
Yes.
Like they've been best friends. These two guys,
You know
they
what?
don't even know
That
each
line
other.
is growing on me so much. And you shall always be my friend.
Yeah.
Because he said that in the J.J. Abrams one. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Now that when I watched that one again, right, I'm like, oh, that means a lot now. Like, for
It does.
people
Well,
who
if you
watch
watch
Star Trek.
originals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you watch
watch
the original stuff,
series,
yeah.
you really get it.
And I like the first time when the actual old Spock looks at Simon Pegg like, whoa, you're Montgomery Scott. It's like, oh, this is interesting. And I'm like, he knows that you got into that timeline, right? So everything got messed up. And Spock is all cool. It's like, hey, I know it. This is what happens when you travel through time.
Yeah, this is no big deal because he's done it before
Yeah, he's done it before, so we're gonna do.
quite a few times.
Ooh, God, I love time travel so much. Everybody's
Yeah.
been known that I love time travel. Okay,
Yeah, so we know it
I
now.
love time travel. So and multiverses.
And multiverses now, which by the way, J.J. Abrams would be part of all the Star Trek multiverse.
Yes, multiverse.
Yes, it is. It's part of multiverse.
I just wish that they would continue on. I know that like new Star Trek have a new series called Strange New Worlds, and it's about Christopher Pike's character.
Yes.
So he's still.
Well, it's not about Christopher Pike's character, but he is the captain of the Enterprise.
He's a captain.
It's actually
of the Enterprise.
prequel. It's a prequel to the original Star Trek series.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a
Because
prequel. Okay.
Captain Pike was the captain of the Enterprise.
Oh, that's kind of like the Abrams one too. It actually shows that.
Yeah, but this is because that's in the same time period.
Yeah. Oh.
But that's not in the same universe.
Not in the same universe, same time period.
Yes. The movie you're talking about takes place in the original series universe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. In the movie. Yeah, the J.J.
There's
Abrams
nothing
one.
because the bad things doesn't happen to Captain Pike.
Oh.
Yeah, something bad happens to Captain Pike in the original series that doesn't happen to him in the J.J. Abrams. In J.J. Abrams, he's killed by Khan, but he's never killed. He's actually maimed and injured in the other's world.
But you know what? Messing up the timeline, different universe created, anything goes now. Okay?
Yeah. I'll just put it this way. Captain Pike gets a bad deal either universe.
Oh, interesting.
Well, eventually, I guess you could say he gets a happy ending in the original series universe.
In the original series, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say it ends up happy even though something bad happens to him.
So
but if you're a Star Trek fan, you already know what happens.
Yes. So in this one, I never noticed until you told me, like, in the third or the second one, like, Kirk is well known for escaping death, and he does that so many times. This one,
yeah,
it's only because after you said it, that's when I started paying attention.
Yeah. He escapes death for a while.
Because, like, first of all, he's the main character, so if he dies, right, dude, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, it would be a big deal.
That's what. So that's what J.J. Abrams did. Killed him in stupid Into Darkness. Well, killed him for a little bit. Oh, he still escaped death.
Yeah, he still escapes death.
Oh, he still escaped. This son of a bee. It's Captain Kirk. Always.
You need to hurry up, write the next generations so we can move on to the movies because you're going to be surprised again. You're going to be crushed. You might end up being crushed.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. So.
Well, you're going to be like every other Star Trek fan now.
Oh. Be crushed.
Yeah,
Good.
it's a a pretty big deal.
Because I'm getting there already as a Star Trek fan. You know, I just don't have enough shirts to show it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we won't judge you by your shirt.
I'm looking at the our schedule now. So before our 100, this is our 95th episode, by the way. We're getting close to 100.
Wow. That's pretty close. Man, we've been really doing this.
Yes, we have been really doing it. We tried the Thursday thing for a while. We figure out our
momentum but nobody. Yeah. There's just not enough people watching this. But hey, I want to thank the 20 people that watch us on Spotify.
Oh, listen to it, just the audio version only.
Well, they should come watch us. Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't want to see what I look like either. So I guess just keep listening. We're good.
Sound better on audio,
Yeah, we sound better. I'm sure it's better. They're like, we hear the guy that's from Texas and the guy that sounds like he's from New York talk to each other.
It's just really different parts of the world, and then we, in the States.
Even though we're in the same state now.
Yeah, we're in the same state now. So you know what? It's just different nerds from different places.
Different nerds.
Right? Different nerds from different places.
Exactly. Different nerds from different places. Hey, way different places.
My cousin brought me into the world of Star Wars, Back to the Future, and awesome 80s movies.
Yeah, you got one from the West and one from the East.
That was before we even moved to this country.
Yes.
We already like these movies,
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one.
Oh, yeah, you're the
Yeah.
It's probably like zillions of people in China. It's like, yes.
Yeah, well, maybe not in China, because they can't see time travel movies, but Hong Kong.
Oh, they can't. Poor guys.
Hong Kong, and I guess one of our other friends, Cody.
Well, eventually they probably won't be able to watch that either. Yeah.
Yeah, but yes, definitely.
So what you're telling me is communists don't like fantasy.
Oh, you didn't like that? You didn't know that?
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying it.
They don't want movies to give people ideas of possibility, of that kind of possibility, time travel.
They don't want any possibilities whatsoever.
That's why
even fictional possibilities.
That's why when Endgame showed up, right? It's like, are they going to show this in China because they're showing time travel?
Okay.
That's why, because they were showing all these Marvel movies, right? Like, it's done so well. They even changed the stupid Doctor Strange character, the ancient one, to a different religion instead of, like Tao's or whatever, China's.
Okay. Yeah, because they beat Tibet, and they want you to know we beat Tibet. And Taiwan still belongs to us, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, you can't time travel. Because you know why they can't show time travel in China? Because they're afraid that somebody will build a time machine and go back and kill the communist leader before he becomes communist.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know what?
If they would happen, we would already did it.
How do we know they're not doing that now?
I think the United States would already did it.
Okay. How do you know that we're living in the consequences of time cop?
Well, maybe we are.
Maybe.
Well,
hey.
Consequences are pretty good.
Imagine this. I know that we both like time travel, and Star Trek does a lot of it, right? Yep. What if Hitler didn't happen, something worse was going to happen, and then this is the only thing, like, hey, if Hitler does this thing, it will be way better than whatever the other thing is. How scary would that be?
That would be pretty scary. It's bad. This other dude would have to really be bad.
This ought to be must bad. Like, hey, if you don't Hitler, something else going to come up, and like, woo. I mean, like, I know that Amazon made a show called The Man in the High Castle, right? Like, what happened if the Nazis won? And I'm like, what happened?
That's a book. And that's, by the way, that's an old book.
Oh, that's an old book, yes.
Yes.
But it actually shows that.
Yeah. And people have made other stories. I mean, there's been ones where the Civil War actually divided the country in two.
Yeah, and the South have won, yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these alternate stories. There's tons of them. And that's the great thing about time travel, because you can make all kinds of alternate stories. And usually the alternate's usually worse than what we end up with.
Oh, yes, because everybody thinks that it's going to change things for the better.
Yeah.
Right? So that's so crazy.
I'm thinking you better just be happy with what
Just imagine in Star Trek 4, what if they gone back and then weren't able to save the worlds? Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been the end of the Earth.
It's that timing, Well, at the end, late, 300 years in the future, we're cool now. Yeah. That's future Lamb and Shane's problem.
Yeah. So you gotta think of Star Trek 4. They didn't fix anything. They just went and took the wells.
They just took the wells, yeah.
Instead of trying to tell them, hey, maybe you should save the wells because I don't know, in a couple of years.
You know what? Now I want to talk about it, because people were killing them, right? Well, it wouldn't have changed it because they took the two wells out of the equation. They would have been killed anyway. So the
Yeah. So
outcome
this
for that
took
timeline is
yeah,
still the same.
exactly. So they didn't really alternate the timeline. All you got in that timeline is two
Missing two
missing
worlds.
worlds and a
Yep.
missing scientist.
Yep, missing worlds, missing scientists, and she had nobody anyway. I love how they wrote that in there. Like, oh, I have
Yep.
nobody, no one. Like, oh, so you can come
Yep.
with us.
Yep. Come on. The only people that's gonna have a problem with this is the temporal
Yes.
police
So,
stuff.
so, so we're cool.
And maybe some Vulcans. They'll probably be like, that was illogical.
This one on Star Trek 6, the Vulcan was pretty hot too. Not as hot as that one that you showed me.
Well, that's Kim Cattrall. You know who Kim Cattrall is, right?
I do not. Who is
She's
Kim
Samantha.
Cattrall?
She plays a well. I guess I don't doubt there's anybody who watches this show saw Sex in the City.
Oh yeah, I never watched Sex.
But she's more famous for I guess the only way we would know it. I don't know if you
Trouble
even
in
know.
Little China.
Yes.
She was in Police Academy.
Yes.
Huh.
She was also in The Mannequin.
I never seen a mannequin.
Okay. Nerd.
Do we need to watch it?
No, we don't. We're good. I mean, it was a popular movie back then.
Ah.
Yeah. But she's been in a lot of stuff. Kim Cattrall. I can't believe you don't know.
Oh, she's English.
Oh, is she? I didn't even know she was English.
Hey, let me ask you something. So when since we're talking about her character, when Spock was doing that Vulcan mind reading, why did she sound like she was in pain? Is that like a side effect because she's Vulcan? Like,
Because he probably was in pain because he probably thought that she knew something and he was programming
they were
her
trying
mind
to
get
figure
this
out
information. Yeah, and she couldn't tell him, so he kept looking because they were desperate to get the information.
Huh.
He probably thought because she's a Vulcan, it's probably harder to read another Vulcan's mind because they keep stuff from.
Oh, because everyone knows that I can do that.
Yeah,
trick.
so she wasn't in pain.
I guess it's not a trick, right? What is that? Is that like one of their special powers? What would be the equivalent of humans being? If they can do the Vulcan pinch, they could do the mind reading. What does humans do? I mean, like, what would be the equivalent? The closest thing.
Bluetooth.
Say Bluetooth. That's the subtitle of this episode. The human equivalent to the Vulcan mind reading. What was it? Vulcan mind reading? More Vulcan mind reading?
Vulcan mind meld.
Vulcan mind meld. It's
Yeah, the Vulcan mind meld. Well, they use their brain. Their brains operate. They're a little higher up on the brain scale than we are. Because even we can't do a Vulcan neck pinch because it shoots like electricity or energy into it. It stops you.
Okay.
And that's the same thing with them. They just put their hands on you and they can read your mind. They can read animals and everything.
Yeah, I love that.
We can't read your mind.
I was watching that Spock documentary, and it actually says that Spock's character, he could read not just the minds of humans, right, but like rocks. Because I saw that documentary.
Well, yeah, there wasn't really a rock, Joe. It was silicone-based life form, but yeah.
Oh, silicone-based life form. Okay.
Yeah, it was a thing that ate through rock.
Oh, okay. But so that's why I could tell the
Orca.
whale was pregnant, and
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. You can talk to a lot of creatures
So
because all he does is just pick up images.
So I haven't watched the original series, right? Like, I think Spock should always go down when we, go down to a planet, right? And he should just start touching stuff. Like, opposite of a kid, like, hey, is this a living organism? I need Spock to check it out.
You can't just do that to everything.
Why not? If I was Vulcan, I'd be like,
Well, you need to watch Enterprise.
I
you
need
to watch
information.
Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, they explain that?
There's some other things. There can be some side effects to overusing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, it's a violation, right?
It can be a violation.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a violation. I'll be like, you only use it when it's only necessary.
Yeah. Because it's like
kind of like the Vulcan pinch.
Just doing it the wrong way is like getting mind raped. So.
Ooh, mind rape. That's so crazy.
Yeah, well, hey, it's in the next generation too.
And I see why they give it to this race of people because they're only biological. Like, well, it doesn't make sense for me to read everybody's mind. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
It's only them, even though because you got to think the Romulans and the Vulcans are almost the same race.
So does Romulan has the same power?
No, Romulans can't do any of this. They don't. Because you got to think the Vulcans after their war, the Romulans left. Some Vulcans left. They became Romulans. And they the way they said because there was this big giant nuclear war and they just about wasted the planet. And the people stay behind decided to devote all their energy to meditation and basically nonviolence and they suppress their feelings because they decided the war became from people getting angry. One guy called this guy something, so he lobs a nuclear weapon at it. The way they see it now, if somebody calls you a name and you don't react to it, there's no fight and therefore there's no nuclear war.
Yeah, see, you said that's all.
So they basically train themselves with their minds to do stuff. The problem is their mind's so powerful and they suppress so much emotions that they developed like diseases, neurological diseases, stuff they can get. Because even Spock's father dies of a disease from suppressing feelings for so long.
Oh.
But there's all these other feelings that they can get from. They can actually get diseases or pass on neurological diseases.
So I got it.
By mind melding.
So just from this conversation you have, right? I got it, Shane. I got the solution for prolonging Vulcans even further. So what happens?
I don't see pointed ears under those.
No. So what happens is, I know I'm not a Vulcan, right? But based on what you're telling me, I'm just gonna tell a Vulcan, hey, sometimes you have that urge, right? I know you're suppressing your feelings. Just go Vulcan pinch the guy. It will instantly make you feel better. Like you don't have to beat him up. You just do that thing. Oh. The guy goes down. You move on with your day. He's down. He's not talking anymore.
Yeah, I've been able to Vulcan already tell you you're illogical.
Yes, it's very illogical. But this hey, buddy, I'm doing this for you.
This is why Vulcans don't like humans. Plus, you're laughing and smiling about it too. I mean, he's just gonna be insulted.
Because I feel like I would do that totally. I'm just gonna pinch you.
I know you would. I know you would. You'd Vulcan. Pinch everybody on Earth, and it would be easier.
Sometimes you just have those days that are like,
Well, you do know that they actually wanted him to karate chop somebody.
Oh yes, I read about that. Oh, you know what? It's on that
right,
Spock documentary. So that's what William Shatner was saying. Like, hey, they actually wanted to when Spock comes up to me, like they told me like they wanted him to karate chop him. Even William Shatner said like, dude, that doesn't make any sense at all. So, whatever Leonard's gonna do, right? I'm just gonna react to it. So that's when Leonard Nimoy did that thing, and that's why I think they show me in the scene where like the first time he did that, right? He's like Shatner act like he's in extraordinary pain. So after they did that, they just roll with it. Yeah, it's that documentary is pretty cool when I heard stuff like that, and then you were telling me like the karate chop thing, yeah. That come from the story because Shatner and Nimoy was talking about it. Like, yeah, the producers told us to do this, and both of them thought I was stupid. Karate chop.
Most of everything in like a lot of Star Trek was just invented as it went through.
Oh yeah, they talked about that too. Yeah,
because in the first season there was no Federation of Planets. They just called themselves the United Starship and so forth.
Even the live long and prosper thing, they asked Nimoy to come up with something.
Yeah, all this is just added later, and slowly as each episode just adds to the culture, all the aliens.
So I thought that was really cool. So I really like it a lot, like because it explained where Leonard Nimoy came up with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you already know too?
No.
I think Leonard Nimoy is Jewish, right? And then he goes to the temple, and then like there was some kind of hand signal like that. And then he just took that, and then he made it this. I think it was like this, but he made this thing his thing. Like it's Vulcan's only.
That story, but...
Oh, because he's on the documentary. Because you said like once you said they make it up as they go, right, dude? They talk about that in the documentary. Like Nemo was saying like a lot of stuff they were just basically making it up as they go. And what he really makes him mad, like I guess when Star Trek was canceled or when they were doing the pilot, it wasn't William Shatner playing Captain Kirk the first time.
Yes.
So,
yeah, the only person that appeared on the show was Spock.
Yes.
Well, actually, Sulu was on it too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There was another thing where
but he wasn't even a major character at all.
No, he wasn't. So I forgot what it was. I think they were still wanting to work with Leonard Nimoy and all the Star Trek stuff, right? And Leonard Nimoy told her, hey, if none of these people, if Shatner, Sulu, and those people are not back, right, dude, I'm not doing this. And the other thing, you were right. Nimoy was the only one. So he got really mad, right? Because one of the magazine articles had a picture of him, but his eyebrow was supposed to be like this, right? And his ears are pointy. They edited that photo to make his eyebrows look more human, and his ear looks more human, and he didn't like that at all. He's like, no, this like if you know about the character, right? This is a different alien because you guys are scared of him looking like the devil with the pointy ears.
Yeah, well, they said that in another story. The stories, plus there's been so many stories about the making of Star Trek, and every making of Star Trek story is different.
No, because this one's from the horse's mouth. No, Nimoy saying that he was upset about that.
Okay. Yeah. But anyhow, but I always want to put out, since we did Star Trek 6, we're talking about all the main characters. There was another main character from the original series appears on here too. the blonde-headed communications officer from the Excelsior,
Yes.
Grace Lee Whitney. She's on the original series too.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. They
Oh.
don't ever say her name, but it's supposed to have been Yeoman Rand on the original series.
Oh,
I don't
but
know if she's played the same character or not because they don't say her name.
they don't say her name, right? Just
they say
Sulu.
communications officer, but it's the same actress.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty interesting.
Well, you know what? We're gonna say it's canon part of the original series with
I'm gonna
this
say
movie.
it's the same character too, because
Yep.
I mean, remember Star Trek 2, you had Kyle, was it Commander Kyle on the Reliant, which is actually was Lieutenant or something, Kyle on the original series as the transporter
Oh, okay.
operator.
I'm gonna say
So
it
there's
is.
so those other characters appear on these other ships.
You know, I get the feeling that every time we do a Star Trek movie, right, I feel really great about this episode. Like, you know, when I came in this episode, I told you that I was exhausted, right, and tired.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that anymore. It's not because
Oh.
I ate, because it's the way that we talk about these movies, right? I'm very
Yeah.
passionate about this.
Yes.
And I guess I never knew that, like, hey, you know what? I know you love space travel, right? I do
Well,
too.
I would if I could get into it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, like, I would probably love space travel, but I would like, I know I love watching this stuff. Like,
But it would be,
Lost
I
in
mean, of course,
Space.
we would like the space travel. I actually like Lost in Space.
Oh,
It is silly and
I
ridiculous.
only seen the movie.
But it's fun.
Yeah, I'll probably like it too.
Fun. It's not as good as Star Trek, Star Wars, and that, but it's interesting to watch.
Hey, what was the other movie that we did recently? Well, not recently. Stupid Guardians, Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest, which is
That's a great film.
yeah. I noticed a lot of people make jokes about they finally made a original series TV series. They always say that it's called the Orville.
With Steph MacFarlane, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a huge Star Trek fan too.
Oh, I bet he is. Yeah.
That's why he has Captain Picard narrate all his stuff. If I was that powerful, I'd have William Shatner or Picard narrate all my stuff too.
That's so cool.
Like, could you narrate my life for me, please?
Like, I would be like, Earth date 5/14/22.
Yeah.
Lamb's log.
Yeah, Lamb's.
So now when we watch Big Bang Theory, right? Even at the time I never watched Star Trek, right? Every time Sheldon says Sheldon's log, like, I love that even more.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of people do that. I mean, everybody likes to make fun of that because there's an upcoming movie. What's that? Buzz Lightyear's story.
Yes.
He does the Star Trek.
He does I guess you have to do a recording, right? Because it's
got to.
Yeah. Captain's log.
Why not? Who doesn't want to do Captain's log? Stardate.
I think when you came by, I was showing you some these episodes here and on from the Big Bang Theory. I forgot how when William Shatner was on the Big Bang Theory, dude, Sheldon got so excited. He's like, Captain on the bridge, Captain on the bridge, Captain on the bridge. I was like,
They threw up on him, but yeah.
I do about it. Like, I was like, holy crap, I would have said the same thing because, like, I never noticed that before. Even in the J.J. Abrams one, it's every time the captain is on the bridge, right? The pilot announces it.
Yeah. Well, the show tries to make stuff official. Plus, they had the whistles.
Yes, Captain on the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's the one thing really cool about Star Trek, right? When the captain decides to go somewhere, he just immediately nominates, like, hey, you have to come. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Sulu, you have to come. I like that a lot.
Well, that's supposed to be because most of the starship it never shows you because we only see this crew. But you got to think there's actually 3 command crews.
Yes.
You got the captain and his crew. They got to go do their business, live, sleep on the ship, and another crew comes on, takes over as the captain, and somebody else will take the chair, which makes him the captain of the ship
Yes.
at that moment. His rank is probably like a lieutenant, commander, or commander. And the thing is, the guy that takes over his chair mostly on the movies is always Chekhov.
Yes, on Chekhov, yes. So let me tell you something, Shane. If I had moved into this house, right, watching after all these Star Trek stuff, I would have made my room here like the bridge of Star Trek, where I sit in the middle of the room, right? But I still have to control everything myself.
Yeah, that's a lot of room. I mean, that's the dream of everybody. I've even thought about it. But it's just not practical. But I would like the captain's chair.
Captain's chair, like Captain on the bridge. I would totally do that. Now I have everything set up, right? I can't sit in the middle of anywhere anymore.
Yeah, because you put everything right
Because
in the
like
middle of your room.
you know, a lot of people have. It's easy to put the big screen TV in the room now. Like, hey,
Yeah.
put it on the screen.
On screen. Yeah. Engage. Make it so.
Now we're at a time where, like, you know, kind of like you watching me on your big TV, right, dude? It's very Star Trek if you think about it.
It's very Star Trek because I'll sit here watching you on this big old screen, view screen.
It's very Star Trek, and it is so cool.
I'm sitting here in my captain's chair without my crew.
Now, one of the things I want to point out before we end this episode, right? Because I'm Asian and you're Caucasian, so you're carefully.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's noticed.
Yeah. So with this show, right?
Unless you're on Spotify.
Because you are Captain Kirk and I'm Captain Sulu. Just for this show.
I'll take
Because
that.
Star Trek 6. Hey, I'll take it too because we know, right?
Yeah.
We're captains.
Yeah, we are captains.
And with that, we'll see you
Hey,
next
wait.
week. Yeah,
Before that, when did you find the captains in the bathroom?
I that's for captains only, okay? That's why it's called the
Okay.
captain's bathroom. All
Yeah,
right?
we don't want to talk about captain's log.
We'll see you guys on the next one. And this is it for this show. Thank you for watching this segment of our reviews. I hope you had a great time listening to us. Be sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.